The officer's hand was already raised to knock on my door before I even saw the patrol car in my driveway. Two of them, standing on my porch on a Tuesday morning because my HOA president decided that I, the person who had lived on this street for 11 years, was trespassing on my own property. She had called 911. She had described me as a hostile, unauthorized individual, tampering with common area infrastructure. And she was standing right behind them, arms crossed, wearing that smile. You know the one, the smile that says, "I finally got you." What she didn't know, what none of them knew, was that I had spent the last 4 months quietly, legally, and very deliberately buying the ground she was standing on. My name doesn't matter. What matters is the house, a 1,940-square-foot craftsman on the end of a cul-de-sac in a mid-sized suburb in Tennessee. That changed the moment Renata Hollis got elected HOA president in the spring of 2021. I got my first violation notice in July of 2021, a single piece of paper tucked under my windshield wiper. The addition in question was a cedar wood planter box I had built along my front fence line. It was 18 inches tall, filled with lavender, and had been sitting in that exact spot since 2018. 3 full years before Renata's CC&Rs even existed. I wrote a calm, single-page letter citing the installation predating the rule by 3 years, attached the photo and the survey, and mailed it certified to the HOA's registered agent address. I kept the return receipt. The fine had doubled to $300. A handwritten sticky note from Renata was attached. Prior installation is not a valid exemption under Section 4.7. Further noncompliance will result in escalated action. I did not pay the fine. I did not remove the planter. I opened a folder on my desktop and labeled it Hollis HOA Documentation, Active File. At the February 2022 meeting, she read my name aloud in front of 40 neighbors, citing my accumulated non-compliance history as an example of residents who undermine community standards. Her name was Patricia, and she had been handling HOA disputes for 19 years. I brought her the folder. Every notice, every response letter, every certified mail receipt, every photograph. She explained, in Tennessee, HOA amendments to CC and RS must be recorded with the County Register of Deeds within a specific window to be legally enforceable. Renata had rewritten the rules. She had distributed them. She had collected fines under them, but she had never filed them. The parcel, 0.14 acres, had been listed as abandoned municipal land following a 2009 road realignment project. The county had quietly released the deed. It had passed through a dormant LLC and sat unnoticed in the property records for over a decade. I had purchased it 4 months prior for $1,200 at a county surplus property auction. Patricia put the title abstract down on the desk very carefully and said, "You own the land that her HOA sign is sitting on." I sent a certified letter to the HOA's registered agent, including Renata personally as board president, formally notifying them that the parcel previously treated as common area was my private property. On Monday, Renata called the police. I gave them my driver's license, my homeowner's deed for the residence, and the recorded deed for the adjacent parcel. I had printed all 3 that morning in a manila folder I'd left on the kitchen counter, because I had genuinely wondered if she might try something like this. The younger officer looked at the documents, looked at the other officer, walked to the driveway, and made a phone call. I offered them both water. They declined politely. The officer turned to Renata and explained that dispatching police for a civil dispute has consequences and that she should consult an attorney before making further calls of this nature. The HOA issued a formal written acknowledgement that the revised CC and RS had never been properly recorded. All fines assessed under those rules, across the entire neighborhood, not just mine, were declared void. And every time I walk past that little strip of land with the county recorded deed in my name, I think about the difference between someone who has power and someone who simply acts like they do. One of them has paperwork. The other one has a smile.